Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lola Bard Holiday Podcast. Yay! My name is Rose Colella, and I'm the founder and CEO of Lola Bard Holiday Entertainment, and I am your hostess. It is a very exciting day because we're recording our very first episode, and I couldn't think of a better way to introduce this podcast to the world than to have our top 10 OGs from the Lola Bard Holiday Carolers on the show to tell everybody about the crazy world of caroling and the wild and wacky stories we've collected over the years. And we've got some heartwarming ones too. So without further ado, hi everybody. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Thank you for having us.
Have you here?
Wonderful to see you all.
So I thought maybe we could start out with introducing ourselves, doing a little lightning round of who y'all are, how long you've been with the company, and so forth. So I'm going to ask each of you to introduce yourselves and tell me 3 things. So tell us how long you've been with Lola Bard, what you do outside of the holiday season, and your favorite Christmas song to sing with the group. All right, so let's start with Dan.
Sure. All right. Hey, everybody. Hi, I'm Dan Mackey. I have been with the group now for 10 years, which is wild because it feels like I just started. I am a bass and a Grinch often for the Lola Bard Entertainment, and my favorite song to sing with the group is The Little Drummer Boy, because I like to have the drum solo. And when it's not the holidays, I am a performer and director of voice at Six Flags Great America. Shout out. And my big ado is Fright Fest specifically, and I'm pretty spooky. So there you go. I like characters.
Give us a little drummer boy, since that's your favorite.
Sure, yeah. It goes like this. I forget the words, but it's rum pum 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 pum, and then I always make the group wait an extra entire measure, and I go and it's a good time. Yeah, I have a drum solo. I'm Neil Peart for a minute, and it's incredible.
All right, thank you, Dan. Okay, let's have Jen go.
Hi, I'm Jen Zayas. I have been with the Lola Bard Holiday Carolers. This is my 11th year, I believe.
Woo-hoo.
And when I'm not caroling, I am a freelance vocalist and musician and production specialist. My favorite song to sing with the group is, there's too many to pick, but if I had to pick one, I think I will pick White Christmas.
Oh.
Because it has a great alto part.
Yes, it did. That arrangement we got out of never mind. I'm thinking of I'll Be Home for Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Wait, I'm going to change.
That's a good one too.
No.
That's a great one too.
It's
Great
also
alto
a great alto part.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
one came out of an old 1940s songbook that I got on eBay with Bing Crosby on the cover, and it's gigantic. And so we made a copy of it and shrunk it down and sang it one night and loved it. And yeah,
That
every
was like a
arrangement.
barbershop, isn't it? I think it's a barbershop.
It's
arrangement.
barbershop.
Very
so
barbershop.
Yeah,
it's
there you
the
go.
only one we
That
have,
tracks.
I think. It's great.
Okay, awesome. How about Eric?
Hey. Sorry, I haven't spoken too much this morning. My name is Eric Wahlberg, and I am also a bass. And
Hi,
I honestly am not sure how long I've been singing with Lola Bard. More than 10 years,
Yeah.
I'm going to safely say. In my other life, I work in student affairs at the College of Medicine at the University of Illinois, Chicago. And then I'm also a professional massage therapist. So I'm just trying to stay pretty busy. And then my favorite song is In the Bleak Midwinter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Lovely. Thank you, Eric.
Eric, I never see you. We never get to
Of
sing
course.
together because
Yeah.
we're both basses. So I've heard rumors of Eric. Hello.
Have you guys never met in person?
Oh,
No,
no.
we
No,
have.
we need to.
We've done
I need to
stuff
send
together,
a
actually.
I'm being
cut.
silly.
Yeah.
The ULC this year, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the octet.
Yeah.
Magical octet.
That was wonderful.
Okay, Christy.
My name is Christy Bennett, and I'm a soprano. I also am not positive how many years I've been with Lola Bard. I think probably around 10. That seems right to me.
Yeah.
You probably know better. My favorite is also In the Bleak Midwinter. It's such a pretty one. And outside of December, I am a jazz singer and I work for a music nonprofit doing just like a whole assortment of things. My title's Director of Development, but I do about a million different things.
Yep. So how about Madi?
Hi, everybody. I'm Madi Torwea, and I've been with Lola Bard since the beginning. I helped found it with Rosie and Sean and a few other people. So, Rosie, how long has Lola Bard been doing the Carolyn thing?
This is our 15-year anniversary this year.
Oh, that's right.
Is it really?
Years.
Wow.
Woo! I'm a soprano, but I do switch, and I've got the alto in me, and I'll do tenor if you force me to. Let's see, when I'm not singing and hauling costumes and wrangling characters, I'm a nonprofit consultant and I'm a professional singer and I'm a 200-hour certified yoga teacher. My favorite song is Silver Bells because the second verse talks about shopping.
Yeah. That's a great arrangement too. I love that arrangement.
I love that one.
Wonderful. Okay. Sean.
Hey, I'm Sean Archer. I also was there from the beginning. And it's been a wild ride with so many cool moments. In my non-caroling life, I am a graphic designer, artist, author, and my favorite song to sing with the group is "Have Yourself." We just this year instituted the rule that at ULC that we all put arms around each other as we sing "Have Yourself" because it makes it feel better.
I noticed that in one of the videos that you sent me that was you and Christy and Eric.
Yeah.
We're outside and I thought, oh, that's so sweet. I love that. That's such a testament to what a family this group feels like, you know.
Agree. Yeah.
Yay. Okay, let's have Drew go.
Hey everybody, I'm Drew DeHaan. I am a tenor, but I'll sing whatever needs to be sung. And I've only been with Lola Bard for maybe 4 years. I'm pretty new comparatively to all of these folks, but it's just been so much fun getting to know all of them through these gigs. And what do I do outside of here? I'm a high school choir director. I teach in the suburbs of Chicago, so you can imagine December is a very peaceful month for me. With everything going on. And my favorite thing that we sing, it's so basic, but I love singing Deck the Hall, not halls, hall, right?
Hall, singular.
Just because it like screams Christmas to me. It to me, like I hear that and I'm like, okay, it is time, for all the holidays to happen. So I just love singing that. And I always know that we're going to sound good on that. And it's just so like solid, no matter what group we're singing with.
Is it Deck the Hall?
Yeah.
Singular?
Yes, Deck the Hall, singular.
Wow. Unless you're Lucy Van Pelt and then it's Deck down the halls and all that jazz.
After 10 plus years, yes, it is Deck the Hall.
Okay, great. Good. It's good we had this meeting.
Hey, I used to say Deck the Halls too, and then somebody, it was, you know what? I say somebody, I'm guessing it was Madi. It was. And I've never looked back.
It's just one hall, Jen.
Just one hall.
I think that's what you said. It's just one hall, Jen.
Did I say Lucy Van Pelt?
It's Sally. No, is it Lucy? Is it Sally?
It's Lucy.
Okay.
Love it.
All right. How about Rigby?
Hi, I'm Rigby Jones, and I'm a mere fledgling in the Lola Bard universe because I've really only sung officially with the company for a year. In my other life, I am also a freelance musician. I teach voice and I love doing musical improv and comedy.
Yes.
And you
Good
do it
song,
very well.
Ricky.
And what's your favorite song?
Oh, White Christmas, definitely, because it
Ah.
just transports you to another life.
Awesome.
And White Christmas was written
Fabulous.
in LA, about LA, right?
Yes, because there's
It
a
was?
whole nother part about the palm trees and everything.
And Orange
Mm.
County?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then
Yes.
palm trees sway.
Mm-hmm.
The rumor is that Irving was on a writing trip to LA and missing his home and missing his wife and started to write the song because of it. So there you go. It's about love. All
That
those
man
Christmas
loved his
songs are about
wife.
love. Hmm?
That
What?
man loved his wife.
He
There's so
did.
many stories about that. Yeah.
He had a couple. So I'm not. It was about the second one, but he loved the first one too.
And that reminds me of the story that you tell about we had a gig at a private club in downtown Chicago, and we thought that it was background music, but it was actually a show. And you guys walked in the room and everybody was just
that
sitting
was
there.
Sean
Yeah.
Danny and I.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yes.
We
Yes.
were all, and speaking of being close together, we were like this.
Oh, it was an hour
was an
show.
It was a show.
It was a show because every story, trivia, can I take a request? Do you know the history of who knows the first movie that White Christmas was in, and everybody says White Christmas and we all know that it's holiday. That we started there and then sang that and took requests. Okay, well then let's do this other song that was actually written as a Thanksgiving song to celebrate winter, but not Christmas. And it's Jingle Bell. Every cabaret and moment that we could think of that was trivia. It was from start to finish was a show. We won them over. They loved it.
I have to say that I got to witness the magic of Danny and Jen together as like
yeah.
It was Captain and Tennille. It was really great. But the thing that I kept thinking was like, are we gonna like, is this gonna break into like clang 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 with the trolley?
It comes close. It gets close. I'm not gonna lie.
It gets very close.
I really felt like that's where this was going eventually,
Well, it just shows the beauty of this group because, so many of you are such seasoned performers and so many of you are jazz singers, which means you have to constantly be improvising, and actors, which means you constantly have to be improvising. So when you're going to a gig and you think you're just going to be in a doorway and then all of a sudden it's a 60-minute show.
On microphones.
On microphones. You have to tell stories in between songs. That is a gift. A lot of people would not be able to pull that off.
Well, we're lucky. We all love each other. We love the music. The best thing about that gig, I will say, is that when it was done and we won them over and they ended up being lovely and great. But the director had to walk us all the way back through the kitchen to where we were changing. And he said, we were done. He goes, the kitchen staff did not get to hear it. Would you guys mind stopping and just singing a little bit for the kitchen staff? And that was the best. We went in and we did Feliz Navidad, and they had the pans going. They were all singing with us. They were whooping and hollering. And Sean was like, well, that's Christmas. That was fun. We had a blast. They were lovely. So I remember that.
It was a great
on a
gig.
really high note. It really ended on a high note. So
awesome. Okay, let's have Ruthie introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ruth Heald. I've been singing with Lola Bard since 2017, and I know that's the right year because that's also the year that I moved to Chicago and encountered this whole caroling craziness for the first time in my life. And I've actually been working with Lola Bard as a casting director since last year. And oh my gosh, there are so many great songs that we get to sing. I think if I had to pick a favorite today, it would be Carol of the Bells because it's a fun arrangement and it's in a minor key, which I love.
Shout out to minor key carols.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you do when you're not caroling, Ruthie?
Oh, when I'm not caroling, I work as a freelance vocalist and drummer in various styles, classical, jazz,
Rock.
pop, rock, funk, musical theater, kind of whatever comes up. And I also work as an arts administrator.
Okay, so I know that everybody has some stories that they want to tell, but let's start out with a segment that we could probably call When Caroling Goes Wrong.
Oh gosh.
So this would be the time to tell your stories about bloopers, mistakes, costume mishaps, embarrassing moments, unexpected events happening, weird venues, perhaps a drunk guest or client, weather horror stories, any other kind of bizarre situation, or maybe you walked into the wrong house to carol to. Let's start out. You guys can just kind of hop in with any kind of story about when caroling goes wrong.
You just made me think of it was me, Bernadette, and Paul, and we did it was like a marathon. It wasn't a marathon. It was like a 5K or something like that on the lakefront.
And you ran with them.
I was gonna say.
And we were singing as they were running by, and they gave us hats and everything, and we were literally singing and shaking bells at people as they're running by on this thing.
Of course.
But the place they had for us to like take our break was a box truck that had a heater inside of it, and we had to climb up the back into the truck, and the only place where we could change was porta potties.
Oh,
dear God.
That wouldn't have
The
worked.
glamour.
Oh,
that was an experience.
You win. That beats.
No.
Potty, I thought you were going to talk about a totally different story that happened.
Me
Yes,
too.
tell us the other
Oh,
one,
no.
Rigby.
Rigby, do
Do
it.
tell.
So, because I am the casting person in Los Angeles, I also handle a lot of costumes with Rosie here. And we had a client that at the last minute said, no, we don't want costumes. We want concert black. This was an octet, and I was traveling.
Oh.
It's about a 3-hour drive where I was going with another caroler. We were supposed to take costumes up, but they said, no, we want concert black. So everything is arranged. The other caroler and I show up, and the other octet people start trickling in. And the organizer for this client, because it was a very big client, looks at me and says, "Thank God you're here. So who's bringing the costumes?" And I knew that was going to happen. I had nightmares the night before. And even if I had brought costumes, I didn't have enough because I had a gig the night before where I passed off some costumes to somebody. So I wouldn't have had an octet. So this party planner is looking at me, and I just said, "Oh, we were told to wear concert black. We don't have costumes." "Well, you will get in your car and you will go get them right now." And I'm thinking, that's 3 hours with no traffic, so that's not going to happen right now. But I watch a lot of Below Deck, and the client, and I said, "Let me see what I can do for you." So I call Rosie, but I actually call a Rose from my improv class by accident. And I didn't realize that's what I was doing. So I pick up my phone. I said, "Rose, we have a problem." And they go, "Who is this?" "Oh, sorry, I gotta go. It's not nice to talk to you." So I call Rosie, who's at a gig herself. And that was a day when about, I think, 20 things were going wrong.
Yeah.
And then
Always those days.
Oh yeah. Saturday in December.
Oh yeah.
Saturday, and you got on the phone with the planner, and she was understandably not happy.
Yeah.
And it was not our fault. It was through another party. that was a liaison between us and the planner. So it had nothing to do with we didn't make a mistake, but not everyone was there. And I think there was a miscommunication about the start time because that had also moved, but she wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
So not everyone has arrived. And she goes, well, I need to see what you'll be wearing. And one girl had a jacket and she said, no, you can't wear that. And this is a cold area of California. It's not for us, it's not like a warm area, and we were going to be outside. So she had us stand outside, and it looked like Princess Diaries, like where you'd have the cars come around the fountain and everything. So we're standing out there, and there's only 4 of us at the octet at this point. And she goes, well, sing something. And she goes, at least you guys have red lipstick. This will work. This will work.
The Lola
What?
Bard.
It ended up being a very fun gig, even though we
good.
were banished outside because we didn't have costumes. We were supposed to be roaming the grounds, but I think they just were like, you guys are all going to stay by valet. And people were coming and going. It was like an open house Christmas party, not like a sit down at the same time. So we actually had an amazing time going through every single chart and perfecting everything when the cars weren't coming by. And everyone just had a great time. And one alto was like, I'm doing it. This is so fun.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
So in the end,
God.
it was great. But that was a very scary moment. And I knew that was going to happen. I was like, I know they're going to want the costumes. I just know it.
Yep.
Well, you handled it like a pro. You handled it like a pro with that. I'm going to see what I can do. Perfect.
Rigby really
Perfect.
did handle it like
Yeah.
a pro. The scene was so uncomfortable, and the event planner was, like she said, understandably so upset because obviously, if you want 8 carolers out front of your house, you're gonna want the costumes, you know. And it was an honest mistake that the other party made, and they were very sweet and apologized to us for the position that we were in. But Rigby was such a pro and really had to deflect and kind of help the other carolers know this isn't a typical situation, and just do your best and just try to stay positive in the midst of something like that. So bravo, Rigby.
Thank you. And also to clarify, they had a string quartet there. So when they said musician, they included us as musicians, as vocalists, which was very nice of them.
Got it.
But that ended up being part of the problem. And there was also a violinist with purple or pink hair, and the planner was like taking pictures of her from behind. And they were also banished outside. So they played to no one the entire 3 hours.
Oh, Lordy.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, but I would do that gig again because, like I said, we had a great time outside, and my best friend was the other caroler with me, and thank God she was with me because I felt I had this like support with me. And usually the story takes a half hour, so I won't tell the half-hour version.
Well, that was great.
Yeah.
And I think it's also that the Chicago jazz tradition is so strong in sight reading. Like we've got so many really crackerjack like sight readers, professional singers, and they show up, they're lovely. Then they're like, oh, I know this arrangement.
And the classical singers as well. They can read. They're usually typically all lovely, fun, great people. I'm thrilled to get to work with new people.
Yeah.
We have singers that can even sing over a helicopter, right, Chris?
Yeah.
Which is the story I was going to tell for this segment.
Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus.
I wanted you to
that's
tell.
where that started. All of these stories sound like way more dramatic. This ended up it's a gig that like on paper doesn't sound great, but has become like one of my favorites because it's such a like wackadoo setup. But the first year that we did it, first off, it's in a town that is surrounded by freight train tracks. So even just getting to the gig was kind of dramatic. Like the train came, I remember, and I had enough time to go into the gas station that was right by the tracks, get a snack, fill up my car, and then still sit in the car for 15 more minutes before I could go to get to the gig. So all of us had this kind of situation getting into the gig. And then when we get there, the event is taking place across the street from a church, and there's a parking lot at the church where that's where we're parking. And we decided when we got there, we're gonna like sing in as we stroll into the event. So we're standing in the parking lot, and I think we're, of course, starting with J Suite, start with Jingle Bells. So someone blows a G on the pitch pipe.
G for Jingle Bells.
And we, G for Jingle Bells.
G for
We
Jingle
all
Bells.
take a deep breath in, and right as we're about to sing, the church bells start with a G sharp, or roughly a G sharp. And so all of us kind of lose it because there's just like hysterical timing, and then just like couldn't have been a worse choice of pitch from the bells. So we get it together and we start it back up again, and then we stroll across the street. And as we're strolling into the event, we can hear every caroler's nemesis. The Christmas DJ has begun. And blasting tunes, of course. And we're trying to figure out what's DJ ever. It's the loudest DJ in the world, and they have the best sound system I've ever heard at a small outdoor event. Yes, it was a tiny, not a tiny festival, but it was like a small festival, which also keep that in mind for all of the rest of the details, because so we do what we do, and we try to find a path that is farthest away from the speakers so that we can keep singing as we walk through the festival. And then we're like, okay, this isn't so bad. We're figuring it out. And then all of a sudden we start hearing this like humming, a like thrumming that's getting louder and louder and louder. And the next thing you know, we spot it. There's a helicopter up in the air, and it's coming for us. And it lands in front of us at this event. Santa takes a helicopter to this particular event. So at this point, all of us are just losing it, because it was like the volume, like it starts with very loud, out of tune church bells. And then it leads into Christmas DJ that is insanely loud, and then a helicopter. So it's just like one thing to the next. I think I might be conflating years because we've done this a few times too. There was also a setup where one year where it was particularly cold outside. Santa, it's so cold that Santa's taking kids on his lap. Like they put him indoors for that stuff. That's also not the way to put it. Santa is not taking kids on. Sorry. Rephrase. Santa, yes. The kids are telling Santa their wish list. Indoors this time. They've got like a park building that they've got him in. And we're standing outside. They put us outside to sing to people as they're waiting, which is kind of a nice idea. Makes the line not feel so long. And as we're singing, someone brings out this like contraption and then an industrial size fan. And then they turn it on. And now in the freezing cold, we are having bubbles blown onto us. So
like
we're cold
like
and slightly damp.
Marty, we protected the costumes with our lives.
We did. We immediately moved.
Bubbles. No bubbles.
But then, like, no one said anything about what was happening. We were just watching as, like, we're singing Jingle Bells as they, like, bring out these machines. Yeah, so that's become a favorite shit show gig.
Bleep. That reminds me of last year in California at Rigby. Do you remember? We got, I think actually they contacted you first because they were maybe too uncomfortable to tell me what was going on. But the carolers were asked to sing in front of a fog machine. And they were breathing it in. They were coughing. They were also right next to real live reindeer.
Yes. And I have a friend who has a company that does other holiday things not related to ours. And they were there too. So then I heard from him as well about this whole fiasco. Yeah.
Yeah, they were so uncomfortable, and they were worried about their voices. And afterwards, I was trying to say, you don't have to stand next to something that's making you ill. You can move. It's okay.
That's like the difference between you and other companies here, who would just make people do whatever, no matter how uncomfortable it feels, and that you care about the carolers and you care about their well-being, you know?
Nope, your people come first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's just not the right gig for us if that's what they have to do.
Mm-mm.
Yep.
No, you definitely sometimes get treated like furniture.
Yeah.
Every now and then, I remember a gig that Sean, Ruthie, and I did. I can't remember if we had a bass or if it was a trio, but it was a party. And I mean, this is just, it's so run of the mill, but um,
Talk about the
it
balcony.
was so loud. There was like no way anyone was going to hear us. No way. So I just said, get close. We sing for ourselves.
Yeah.
We look pretty, and that's that. I mean,
Ambiance.
they hired us to come and sing, and that's what we're doing. It's not our fault if they can't hear us, because the people are like literally screaming at each other, and there's music piped in, whatever.
That's why it's so important how we look. That's why we ask
Right.
everybody to do their hair, do their makeup, put on your red lipstick, shave.
Smile,
Yeah.
right?
Right. And a testament to how our costumes are more gorgeous than anyone else's, because we take
Yes.
things so seriously. We don't just let anybody wear their own costume that they happen to like. Our costumes have to be beautifully manicured by Maddie, beautifully taken care of, beautifully delivered by the person who's responsible for that. And we're meticulous about how we put them on and how we take care of them. And that's really unique to our group, too. There are a couple of other groups who have their own costumes and they all
I
look
would agree.
sort of the same, but definitely that's what sets us apart.
And it wasn't always that way.
Right.
Let me,
Yep. We learned. We
We
learned that
learned.
that's important.
I got that to that point exactly. My very first gig with Lola Bard was at our favorite restaurant, which is no longer there. And I'd sung with caroling groups all over, and men are always expected to just put together their own Victorian look thing. And so that's what I knew. And I walked in, I'm like, well, I've got my own costume. And we did our first set, and of course I looked like the odd man out. And then finally, after our first break, and it was probably you, Marty, that were like, we have this costume for you. And I got to tell you, I felt like such a moron,
Aw.
but no. And I say that in a good way, but like, if you don't know, you don't know, and you work with what you work with. But to that point, like, these costumes are fabulous. And when you see the four of us together, it really looks sharp, and it's just so much, it's easier and it's nicer. And yeah, it's a good effect.
It was the first time I did a Lola Bard gig. I was like, these costumes are stunning. And I is still in my own little Christmas group. And I was like, this is ingenious. This is I've never seen anything better. Plus, these are the best looking costumes I've ever seen.
Yep.
I love them, and I love it. And it's a big, I think it is a big selling point for us, but it's also, I mean, every time all of us have worked together, except I will get to Rigby, you and I were two altos. We're on different parts of the country. We will sing together one day. But whenever we get together for our first gig of the season, or maybe something that's on a particular holiday, we put the costume on for the first time. And even us, 5, 4, 10 years later, like, it's Christmas. I feel Christmas. This is it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Marty, Sean, and Rosie, do you remember my first time at a particular steakhouse when I put the cape on? Tell me you remember this. And I said, guys, I'm Batman. And I put my cape out and I leapt and I bonked my noggin so hard on a light. And like literally like 10 seconds into being in the space. And I had just, like Rosie, I had just met you on a gig. We did a country club gig that needed a last minute bass. And I was having so much fun. And I get to this place and I'm like, okay, like they're really fun people and we're gonna have a great time. And then I come and I'm like, I'm Batman. And I'm like, cool, I concussed myself. Gig number 2 working with this company.
We thought you were going to
Remember
meet
that?
the ghost.
Oh God.
And did you say, I hate this bass, I never want to work with him again?
No, of course
No.
not. Of course not. All kinds of things happen. People are so funny when they first arrive for their very first gig. And having been there since the beginning, and gosh, that first season was just like hell on wheels. I mean, you'd come into the break room and there'd just be like sheet music because we would have been like, oh, these people asked for these songs, so put this in your book. Even the folders we had were really beautiful, but they were really heavy, so everybody was getting folder shoulder. Like
Folder shoulder's real.
folder shoulder is real. But yeah, everybody is new at some point. And I feel like when somebody new comes in, the first thing I want to do is just reassure them, because oftentimes they are like so nervous, they're practically peeing themselves. And it's like, hey, we're just going to have a good time.
Costumes, guys, don't pee yourself.
If you're
I
going
am
to
not
wait,
cleaning
Take
that.
a deep breath, sing some stuff. We're going to sing to people for an hour. Look, what could be better? Like,
And also,
But
it's part of the coolness of that is that when somebody new comes in, very often because they've been recommended by somebody else, it's somebody that you're like, oh my God, where have you been? You're amazing.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
I remember the first gig that I think it was it was Madi and me and Isabella Isherwood was on this gig, and I was just like, okay, sang.
Me.
She's
And
amazing. Rose, did you tell me, because we saw her when you were in town, did you tell me that she was your student at one point?
Yes.
That
Yep.
is so cool.
Wow.
She's
Fabulous
amazing.
Academy of Arts.
Great
That's cool.
musician, great, and her record is beautiful.
And just
Yeah.
great energy. She was
Yeah, lovely.
she walked in and you would not have known that she was new. She was
Exactly.
I
nails.
felt like that about Drew, and it took us a long
Yeah,
time to figure
me
out that
too.
we'd met before.
Mhm.
It's just
Aww.
too much. Sean and I
That's great.
and Rosie at one point sang in an acapella group together, like a jazz acapella group doing originals, and we did harmony sweepstakes a few times.
Yep.
And we finally put it together. We're like, wait a minute.
We
Drew
competed
was in an
against each other.
acapella group.
Yeah, I knew I recognized you, but I wouldn't have been able to tell you why. And
Mm-mm. Like until Madi said something, I was like, wait, oh, because this was like what, like 20 years ago at,
Yeah,
at this point, because it was like
years ago now.
2003, something like that.
2003 or 4,
But
yeah.
yeah, it was a wild revelation for sure.
Well, going back to the costumes, I don't know if you guys know, but Maudie has like 70 costumes that she keeps at her house. Is that right? And I think I have like 15 now or something.
I think so. I've
I have
got 60
almost
caroling
100 costumes.
costumes, and the others are characters.
I remember Rosie was on one of my first gigs, and it was at a private house. We were singing for like a brunch or something. And I'm just looking at all these costume pieces, and my head is starting to spin a little bit because I'm going, how do these all fit together? And Rosie, she just comes up to me. She says, "It's okay, sweetie. Just stand up and put your arms out." And she just basically dressed me like a doll. Put, the petticoat and the skirt, but even just that sense of community right off the bat. I mean, as soon as I walked in, I didn't know any of these people. That it really does have that family feeling. And then I love being, a more seasoned member of the company now and getting to kind of share and pass that down to our new people. And one motto that I've been trying to cultivate for myself and the company, because we've all heard about these crazy things that happen on these gigs, is LAIL, laugh about it later. That we all smile in the
love
moment.
that.
We smile, we lean on each other. And then sometimes we get back to the green room or whatever, strange, bizarre room is ours to keep our things during the gig. And sometimes we just bust up laughing about all the weird things that happened on this gig. And I just love that. I love that about Lola Bard.
Do you guys have green room stories? Because I like, especially at that unnamed steakhouse, there were so many like moments. Like you're talking about the costumes, and
Hauntings?
it's making me think of a certain singer who would just at the end of the day, she would just take everything off, and you'd be like, "Oh, hi, wow,
Merry Christmas!"
yeah, she was like, "Oh, I didn't know I was going to get the show, but there you go." And but like other times where like you would have a 1 o'clock luncheon or something like that, and then you'd be on another shift at 6 or something like that. And many times I would just fall asleep there, like laying in the, and of course, that particular green room, when it was when there was nobody else in there, you knew that there were ghosts there. Like I would fall asleep and I'd be like, yeah, and there, not only that, but there were those little puppets, the little puppet, like hand puppets in the closet, and you're just like, yeah, okay, I might die, but it's okay. I'm really freaking tired. But I know there are other green room stories that I don't remember.
Well, you touch on the green room nap. That is a peak sleep time. Let me tell you. Like, there have been. I have taken a quick nap in Jen's car many a time.
I was gonna say we'll do in my car. Like, just nap time.
We're like, all right, we got 45 minutes. We could take such a nap right now and then go back.
Put a little Christmas, put a little music on, like nap.
I mean, some of you guys have 2 or 3 gigs a day, and so by the end of it, you're just so slap happy that if anybody does the slightest thing silly, you just lose it. And I think about one time we were on the balcony at the steakhouse in Chicago, and we were singing.
Do you hear what I hear?
Do you hear what I hear?
Do you hear what I hear?
This was like hour, I don't know, 4 maybe of 5.
Yeah.
It was Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
Oh, that's right. We used to do Throuples, and then they started adding even like an earlier one. Oh my gosh. So yes, we had been singing together for maybe 9 hours already that day. And Paul Marinaro, bass, was on the gig with us, and instead of singing Shepherd Boy, he sang Leopard Boy.
Oh, I love it.
We all died.
Completely stopped singing and fell to the floor, and I think I left. I think I had to leave the balcony.
You went up the stairs and outside. and I think at the like the next day, I did like a Photoshop of a little boy in leopard skin pants, and I said, do you hear what I hear, Leopard Boy?
I don't even know what it looked like to anybody who was watching us. There are these 3 singers, 4 singers with books, said the Leopard Boy, and then boom, we just disappear.
It was like, I don't know, it was the same night or a very nearby night, end of the season. We're all just so dead. And we just stories about kids who do weird stuff, and the kids are always like trying to get under your costume or tugging on things, trying to do your bow or yanking on you somehow, trying to take your bonnet off. Well, we were singing to a table, and there was one kid at this table, and we sang a song, and there was a specific tenor on the gig who had a very soft voice and sort of a timid presence. And we sang this beautiful song, and everyone started clapping, and the kid pointed at the tenor and goes, "That one's not singing."
Oh.
Wow.
Out of the mouth of babes. They'll tell you what's what.
And just again, like, I can't keep it together when stuff like that happens, and I just had to leave the room.
Like,
oh my gosh.
Streaming down my face, just trying to go to bed.
Well, I will say, on occasion, we've done gigs. This happened to us. I think this might have happened to us at our lovely regular gig that we get to do with our client downtown.
Yes.
During the day, where we've the families enjoy it. We've made some babies cry. Sometimes, yeah. When they're loving it, and they're like, oh, they'll really like Jingle Bells, and you get right up there like, no. That always
happens with me.
And then we always laugh, and secretly I'm always laughing inside, because it's like, they're terrified, but
my daughter was one of those. When at the steakhouse, she didn't. My wife had brought my daughter to the steakhouse to see Tato sing, and and my daughter looked up at me, and she saw me in a hat that she'd never seen me in before, and she did not want to look at me. She would not look at me the entire night. She just like, that's not my dad.
But most of the time we make them smile. We really do, because most babies do love us. But occasionally we will get it wrong, and there will be a tear or two.
Do you remember at the steakhouse there was this one woman who came almost every night and ate dinner, and she had a little hat on, and she sat in the same booth every time, and talk about devolving into tears of laughter. There was one night that she wasn't there, and I think it was Paul that turned to me and said, "She's dead." And we all just lost it. Because she was there every night, and we were there every night, and we always sang I'll be home for Christmas for this lady, because she loved it. And I was like, where is she? And she's dead.
But she wasn't.
No. She came back the night later. And where were you last night?
We were worried. Jen, I feel like you were on the gig with me that was at, I think, an Italian restaurant off Rush or something. And it was like a fundraiser sort of thing. But there was a kid that kept getting underneath our skirts, like literally underneath our skirts. And at one point I moved, and I definitely need this kid in the face.
I was there. Yeah.
And it did solve the problem, to be fair. There was no more kid under my skirt.
It did. It did. That was actually really, I mean, it was totally obviously accidental, but it was one of those situations where, it was charming at first because it's very cute.
I didn't think it was charming at first. I was not charmed.
Well, because I don't think I noticed it, because it wasn't.
Because he was under my skirt.
It was under her, so I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it right away.
Oh my God!
That's right. My first reaction was to smile. My first
I
reaction
didn't
was
see it.
Yeah. It just happened.
So what is
my
that?
first reaction was to smile when we realized, but then he just didn't want to stop.
Kept doing it, and no one was stopping him. And then I stopped it.
It's like,
oh, there's Jeannie.
Hi, Jeannie.
Jeannie.
Hi. Now this is
everybody.
So crazy that you should say this now, because Jeannie's just joined us. Jeannie and I have another story where the exact same thing was it Jeannie, Danny, and I, right?
There was
at the country club for their children's holiday brunch, and Jeannie, it's when the little ones adorably and with permission wanted to, not Dan, not me, not Dan, because he doesn't have a skirt. Not
I don't
me.
have a skirt.
They wanted to get under Jeannie's skirt. So tell them.
Oh dear.
Yes.
No, it was great.
You didn't know, because you're walking around, you're singing with your wonderful team, and people are enjoying it, and I feel a little like tug, and a little like it's not normal walking. There's something blocking my walking. And so I reached down, and she lifts up the dress and looks like this to you, And she said, no, you can't come under my dress. I'm sorry. We'll sing to you anything you want, but you can't come under the dress. And then 10 or 15 minutes later, the same darn thing.
Oh, okay.
Jeannie, I've seen it happen to you so many times.
Yeah. Yes.
And not always children.
Oh boy, Drew and I have stories about that one.
Oh
boy.
Uh-oh.
What is going on in Chicago? This is not
I know.
What's in the water with the children?
It's just too cold in the winter. People don't have enough to do.
Seriously? Yeah, nobody's ever gotten up under my skirt. I guess when I was confusing your Jeannie, I was confused. I forgot that it was the same thing where the child kept going in, and which is to me, it's charming and adorable for a moment, but then the intervention needs to happen.
Yeah.
Where's the intervention? You
It's
know,
like, hey, kiddo, you can't.
I mean, because
This is a good life lesson.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, okay, we don't touch other people's, physical bodies or their clothes, and nope, none of that. But anyway, I guess what I was thinking of, Jeannie, is what I do find adorable, and this has happened more than once, and I believe that, Rose, you have the picture evidence, is I love it when our plaid matches the little children's Christmas plaid.
Oh,
That's so many
yeah.
great pictures with children or people in costumes that look like our costumes. It's the same print.
Or
I
the
love
ornaments on the
that.
tree.
I love that.
It is
The
wonderful.
ornaments on the tree at our downtown
The ornaments
gig.
on the tree.
Yes.
One of them looks like Christy, and one
Yes.
of them looks like Dan.
Yes. And what about the doll? What about the doll on that tree?
The
That
doll
looks like Christy.
That took Christy's soul.
The Christy soul. That was the doll
was.
that took your soul, because it was
Yeah.
a little doll that looked
That
just
looks
like
like
you.
Christy.
Yeah.
Rose had pictures
I
of
love
that.
when
Yes, I
when
do.
Jen and Dan were turned into stickers. Oh my gosh, for Christmas in
Yes.
July, I wanted to cry with joy because I
It's on my
just finished
fridge.
those
That's
costumes.
Rick Aguilera Studios, who's our client and our friend now. He's a dear friend now.
That was
Yeah,
so cool.
great. Oh yes, that's gonna be my little Christmas sticker this year.
That was so fun.
Spoiler.
Well, we are just about to take a break, and then we're going to come back with more stories. But before we do, Jeannie, one of our lovely carolers, has joined us. Jeannie, can you introduce yourself and say how long you've been with Lola Bard, what you do on the off season, and your favorite Christmas song to sing with the group?
Oh, okay. I've been with Lola Bard since 2018, and my very, very first gig was with Jen, and I couldn't have had a better introduction to the group and to the love and joy that the group brings to everybody. How long I've been, my favorite Christmas song forever and ever is when we can sing with 6 or 8 of us, and Carol of the Bells.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then in my off time, I actually have a regular full-time role as an HR manager.
Lovely.
And Jeannie
Yeah.
is a fabulous
you.
jazz singer.
Yes, Jeannie's a
Amazing.
fabulous.
Oh, that's right. I do that too.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Let's take a little break. We'll come back with more stories.
Alrighty.
Stick around, everybody.
Lola Bard Holiday.
There was a day when it was me, Eric, and Bernadette. We went and sang in the Africa house, and we sang to the giraffes.
Yes.
Silent Night.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the giraffes were so into it. They were like,
Yeah.
they like put their heads over the rail.
Oh,
and
nice.
That's
the coolest
beautiful. See, I love that stuff. I love singing to the animals.
Yep. I think one of my very first gigs with Lola Bard, this was like a few years back, but like we were kind of walking between buildings and there was like, I want to say it was a snow leopard or something.
Yes, the big
And-
cat.
yeah.
The big
Yes.
cat. I was there. Yeah.
And like we just started singing like Silent Night or something. And I remember the leopard just kind of like put its head down on its paws and just kind of like that thing. I'm like, wow, that is so cool.
So cool.
The animals are cool.
Lola Bard Holiday.
Marty, I always have you, the overwhelming, you're an angel in my, anything costume related, you are the overwhelming angel of Christmas. And I'm like, Marty would not approve.
The overwhelming
No,
angel of Christmas.
or just the presence.
I always
God,
think of
Marty
Marty
will
as
not.
overwhelming.
What am I
Yeah.
doing?
You do look hot. No.
I mean, for me, in my little head, I'm like, oh, I'm just sweetly telling them, don't get anything on the costumes. Don't eat on the costumes, you guys. And I think on the other side, it's like, how dare you eat in the costumes? I'm going to kill you
It's
all.
not, it's not like that at
Oh.
all.
We are
It's not like that at all.
champions.
But
We
but
are
come on.
your champions of costumes. We We take
angel
it
with
seriously.
Christmas.
The over
You're the
Okay, so
you're the
Yeah.
Galadriel of costumes when it
Galadriel
Galadriel.
costume.
Yes. The
Yes.
scary Galadriel, the one who like almost gets the ring.
The system of how to get them from one gig to the other and who carries them and who passes them off and where are you going to meet at the Trader Joe's so that you can give it to this person. And
Sometimes that's what it is.
I don't know how you all do it, but it
and
works. I'm in
sometimes
awe
we have
every
to
year.
get them. Sometimes we have to get them there ahead of time because we just can't get a caroler to bring them. And one time, 2 years ago, we had a caroler drop off costumes to the client, and the client lost them.
How?
Yes.
It's
The
so
client, well, the
carolers.
client lost them. So the carolers get to the gig and they're like, oh, okay, where are the costumes? And the client's like, I don't know. And so they're like wearing whatever and we're texting about it. I'm flipping out, of course. And it was the ones that we had just made, the ones I had just finished.
Marty,
So,
you
With the
made them
trim?
by hand,
they're like
right?
my little babies.
Yeah.
So they're saying, well, we went back, to the client's office and they're saying that they can't find them. Rosie calls the client and so I get on the phone with the client.
Yeah, and the client picked up and didn't even say
The overwhelming Christmas
hello.
angel has
Right?
connected with you.
And the client's like, I don't know. He's yelling at me on the phone, like
Yelling.
barely says hello. I don't know what they are. It's like, yeah, those costumes are about $500 a piece to replace all the parts. I think you should give your office another look. Oh, I found them.
Do you think they were trying to like keep them?
No.
Oh, okay.
This was just somebody who had lots of stuff going on, trying to keep a lot of moving parts and
Got
just
you.
kind of like deprioritize what didn't
Right.
seem important to them. It is important though, and those costumes needed to be in another state like the
Yeah.
next day.
Yeah.
So
For real.
Jeez.
Potty, I'll tell you, like we get stopped for pictures and people tell us, how beautiful we look. And that's not because of my mug, it's because the costumes are so beautiful. So
Yeah.
cheers, Marty.
oh,
Yeah.
you guys. Well,
Yeah,
I tell you what I
seriously.
love. Oh, you're so sweet. What I love
We
about
love you.
this group is that everybody in this room knows that once you've got that costume on, first of all, you need to have all the pieces on to the best of your ability. And I won't name names. Like sometimes something will go missing, right? Or you'll take a picture like, this or that. And I've totally forgotten a piece too. I've totally gone out and I'm like, yeah, no bonnet. But once you're in the costume, you are no longer like, Jeannie or Drew or Sean. You are now a caroler and you have a role to play. Like you have to be in character.
It's a
Dan is
costume.
Yep.
champion of being character. Everybody I think in this room has been shocked when he's in his full Grinch makeup and costume to talk to Dan and get the Grinch.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm a method actor,
and to
you
have
see.
and to have the
Full
Grinch
method.
come and sing with you because
Mhm.
you're singing near the Grinch and the Grinch comes and sings with you and knocks your book out of your hand.
I was gonna say
That's
or
what I was.
slams your
Yes.
binder to the ground.
Yeah.
all in love.
Okay, this is how
it's amazing.
popular Dan is. First of all, in Chicago, he's so popular that he has a posse that follows him around for
Yeah.
Mhm.
any
Yeah.
public gig
Yeah.
he
Yep.
happens to be on. And sometimes I see like a bunch of photos and videos that no one has sent me because they're from his fans who post
Fan art.
online.
Yes, fan art.
Yeah. So
I love my dreamers so much. I love you all. Thank you so much. I do.
not only is he
We're too
popular in
old.
Chicago, but last year, because of the funny videos that we have of him on our website, one of our LA clients fell in love with Dan and called me and said, I want that Grinch at my party. And I said, I'm so sorry. He lives in Chicago. Not going to work out. The next day, I really want that Grinch. And I said, look, that's really going to cost you. Like, you're going to have to pay for his plane ticket. This gig was 3 days later.
Wow.
I said, this is going to be a really expensive plane ticket. We're going to have to internally get him off all of his other gigs because, of course, he's got 3 gigs that day in Chicago. And so she goes, okay, next day, let's make this happen.
That is
And
awesome.
so
Yes, Dan.
I called Dan and I said, you're not going to believe this, but you are needed in LA. Would you be willing to get on a plane if we get you covered on your gigs in Chicago and fly to LA and back to Chicago in the same day for an hour-long performance.
Because the next day we had gigs. Like, what, you know.
Yes.
Yep.
That day.
Right.
I have learned. I told Rosie. So Rosie called me. I'm sitting waiting for to go park at a gig, one of our favorites downtown, and Rosie calls me, and I have learned that whatever Rosie says, just say yes, because it's going to lead to something so much more fun than I had in mind, right? And so and Rosie, you have that recorded now. Anytime Rosie says, "Hey, can you do this?" I am going to say yes. Because that's just the magic of her. Because my very first gig, I got a group text, and it was like, "Hey, do you want to do this gig?" And I didn't know anybody, and I said, "Yeah, this could be fun." And then here we are. And then it was my birthday, and I had something booked, and Rosie said, "Do you want this gig?" And I said, "I don't know." And then she called me, and she was like, "I think you should take this gig." And you know what? I'm so glad I took the gig. And so the track record is Rosie says do it, and I say, "Yeah, that's a good idea." And it was so fun. And now wait, so this gig, the Grinch was a surprise for the client. And so I got there a little early. We beat traffic. So I hung out at a McDonald's in full garb. I did my makeup in the LAX bathroom. It became a makeup tutorial. All these people were like, "Oh, so why are you putting white there?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, because the light would catch here." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And so like I had people like holding my makeup for me. I was like, "Hold that brush for me. Thank you so much." And like it was like 20 people in the men's bath LAX, all talking about like what gigs we're doing and what makeup we're so fun. So then I get to this McDonald's to hang out, and we just shut the McDonald's down, and I'm with all the staff. They come out, they close the doors. All the people in the place were taking pictures. We're all laughing. I'm singing songs with the kids. And they let me charge my phone. They were very nice. And so it was really a wild ride, and it was like the most fun. And then the gig itself was so fun. I was just walking around, just being mean to people, and it was great. I was probably in 50 TikToks. It was so fun.
That's awesome.
You
It was
know,
wonderful.
I never knew how amazing he is until I was on a gig at a mall in Wisconsin, and he
Yes.
too was on that gig,
Yes.
and you know it was incredibly freezing. It was probably 6 degrees, and so the
Yeah.
client was so nice and let us be inside where the food court was until we could figure out how we were going to bear the elements. But I saw Dan in his element as a Grinch, and he not only made all the diners in the food court like just go crazy, he made all of us laugh and smile, and it made our gig even better because he is just outstanding. That's the only word I can
Yeah.
use to describe you.
I love you, Jeannie. I love you.
It's so true. It's so
And we're
true. Like
getting-
we did a gig at a hotel where it's now kind of become a tradition. It's like there's one gig, and then we go straight into a
Just
private
go
party,
up.
and then we go straight into like the Grinch being mean to people. But so Sean and Dan and I are like at the private party, and they're like, wait a minute. They don't even care that we're singing, "I know you're the Grinch." And Dan just gives them one little taste of the Grinch voice, and they're dying. They're like falling out of their chairs laughing. They could care less that we're singing. They're like, "When are you coming back? When are you going to come back?" Oh my gosh. Like people just cannot.
The photos and videos coming in the text group every day during the season are such um they're what keep us going in the backstage, honestly, because you can't imagine how stressful it is to be trying to juggle all the gigs in one day, all the clients calling, and all the clients calling about tomorrow's gigs, and people calling in sick. We got to find like, not only are we getting the text groups from all the gigs, but all the text groups from the team trying to figure out the problems that are happening that day and the problems that we have to sort out for tomorrow. anyways, getting the photos and videos is what makes us laugh and smile and get through every day. They are so important. And I remember one day, it was just the worst day ever. It was a day from hell. 5 people were sick, and we don't just send one less caroler. We have to find somebody else. So, anyways, we're really going through it. And I get this video of Dan dressed as the Grinch in a Kate Spade store stealing purses.
They let me. I didn't keep them.
Just like, okay, I gotta remember what we're doing is joyful and silly and just put it in perspective. Everything is gonna be okay. So
They were great at that store. They were so fun.
Me every day.
And I tell you
And
that
I know there's
behind the
one
scenes
set of
stuff.
videos that I know there's one set of videos that Marty doesn't want to hear.
Well, okay.
yeah.
Oh,
Just
good.
really quick before we segue there, I just want to say that behind the scenes stuff, while this LA client is trying to convince Rosie to send Dan out, I'm in the background on Amazon ordering more Grinch costumes.
right.
Because Rosie just says that this might happen. I'm like, we need more Grinches.
Yeah. It requires all kinds of behind the scenes stuff.
I mean, but yeah, so there was a year that 4 people in this room, who shall remain nameless, decided to send a daily crazy video, just totally unhinged, of like the most bizarre version of whatever carol they were singing. And then just
They
send
were.
it in the text thread.
That's not how I remembered it. We
Yeah,
were giving you
no.
guys options of new ways
Yeah.
to try
Yeah.
those carols.
Yes.
You don't know. We might have a client that has a chicken farm and they want to hear the clucked version
Yeah.
of "Oh Holy Night."
Or the meowed
Or somebody who really
version
likes
of
robots.
whatever.
I
What was
recall
it?
some zoo versions of songs with the word dolphin inserted into them because you were singing near the dolphins.
What?
We would
Never.
never.
That would
we
never happen.
We would
Nope.
never.
Maybe
Nope.
it was a weird Freudian thing. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what
It was
you were
just the
hearing.
audio. The audio was bad. That's all. That's all.
I think we were so inspired by the stories of Leopard Boy, Dolphin. It just happened organically.
Dolphin swimming.
I watched that video of Kelly squealing with joy at the dolphins over and over again.
Danny, what was the phrase that it wasn't just dolphins? We were sticking dolphins into every song, but there was another phrase that you were like,
Oh, yes.
What was
Man,
it?
Oh my gosh.
It was I tells ya.
I tells ya. Oh, that's right.
You get 5 points for that.
It had me cracking every single time you did it.
I tells you, bum, bum, bum. And, you just got to make your own little interjections sometimes.
We have sung in some weird venues, I tell you.
Oh my God.
It tells you.
I tells you. Singing next to animals, singing at a funeral home, and we're changing in a room full of coffins.
That has been amazing. I have sent many a picture of us. I'm not going to admit to this if it was me or not, but the very first year there might have been a picture of somebody in a coffin. I don't know. I don't know. One of us may have been in the
That might have been true.
That might have been. I'm not going to admit to that, but yeah, I actually loved it. I think I've done that every year that we've had it. I actually love doing that because it's really interactive. The family that owns the funeral home are lovely people, and their clients, the alive clients and guests, are all wonderful.
The alive client?
That was
very interactive at the funeral.
And the reason it's
unlike
fun
our
is
other gigs,
it's a celebration, so they always have a lot of children there, and they have and Santa's there, and elves are there, so it's a chance for all the characters to come and the caroling, so it's fun. But yeah, we do change because the only room, it's a big room, but it is all full of coffins. So the very first year, they got better the second year. The first year that we went in, it was just us among the they were just all among them, so we just kind of had like layer stuff over them. And now the second year it was got hip, they pushed some of them away and put like a couple of couches in there for us, so that but yeah, it's always a really fun, really delightful. And the actual clients that are our contacts there, they're super happy to see us. They always want to sing with us. They want to hear "O Little Town of Bethlehem." A couple of you have done that with me, right? Yeah. "O Little Town of Bethlehem" is their favorite, is the husband's favorite, and so we do that every year. It's really a fun, and then lots of kids one. There's great pictures that we've sent, or the photographer that always sends us the stuff of little. Another one where the little 2-year-olds and little babies that are in matching outfits for the carolers. Man, we got all those ones where they're like looking up. Love those.
Yeah.
Fun.
So Jen, you do a gig at a funeral home, and then we end every season with a gig at a crematorium.
Yes.
What?
That was a great lead-in. Sean, take it away. Since you almost died in the flames of 12th Night, please take it away.
We do a gig at a 12th Night celebration up in the far north, and we drive a long time to get there. Well, I do.
Love it.
Dan, it's close for Dan, but
I just jump. I'm just like, oh, okay, great. I'll be there.
every year we do this gig that I've had you guys did it longer than I have, but we have the pleasure of singing in front of a giant bonfire of Christmas trees,
right?
And
on the beach.
On the beach.
And
on January 6th, when it's usually about 6 degrees.
They got us too close to the fire last year, and my hat did not make it. I don't know if you can see this, but
what is too close, really?
I think the cue was when a firefighter came up behind me and said, "Are you okay?" And I looked at him and I said, "Isn't it your job to tell me if I'm okay?" This fire.
I just loved all the selfies from Dan with the flames in the back and his look of delight.
Yeah. Dan's all for it.
I was in the back.
Yeah.
I was in the back. I just kept moving us forward because I felt myself cooking. I felt my hat melting onto my head, and I was just like, "No, we're moving. We're moving.
Sean,
we're singing. We're moving. All the mics. We're moving. We're moving. We're moving."
It was so fun.
Every year, the firemen keep moving us away from the fire, and the client's always like, "Maybe a little farther back. Can you guys go a little farther back?"
And we're like, No.
It was great.
That contract has been very clearly amended for this coming year, because after that happened, I called Maddie and I was irate that you guys were.
Well, the first year was the experimental year, and that year, I have to say, this past year was the closest we've been since that very first year, because the second year we were way past the line, and then this year for some reason they said, I think they know what they're doing. It's all about the way the winds are blowing and this and what they're going to do. So I know they have it all locked up, but this one, they thought the winds were going to go in one direction, I think. And and so again,
and they didn't.
We just had to keep moving ourselves forward. And we did. And we did it all singing. So
we did. We didn't miss one
You're
beat.
welcome.
We never stopped singing.
So this was my first year on the gig, and I knew there was going to be fire, but I felt like I was just sort of the oblivious. I've got my jingle bells. I'm just singing along. And then every so often, Sean would grab the mic stand and move it forward. Jen would kind of guide me by the waist and move me forward. And I'm just going through the 12 days of Christmas. Like,
we were Sean and I, Sean was behind, and then in front. We were just shepherding everybody. We're like, we know the flames are there.
Got some great photos though.
I'll tell you what, and that is
photos.
The reason I love it is because the clients are delightful,
top notch.
They love to have us. They're so thrilled. they've done news stories about, and 12th night. I mean, the very first time that we were going to do it, I remember I sent around a picture of Burning Man because I was like, this is 12th night is one of those things that is very pagan to me, because yes, it's based on, the very, very roots of Christianity and Epiphany, but it has its roots in an ancient festival. So I was charmed by the idea of a giant bonfire, and I said, we're going to go there and get sacrificed, So,
I
but
love
Did you know?
we're gonna
clients.
go there. But
There's
it didn't, but I love the roots of it. And I love that they do that on the beach, by the water, where it's safe, and as a way to, a way to environmentally sound way, kind of make it a beautiful event to like get rid of the Christmas trees in a beautiful way, and with singing and hot chocolate. And
It's
I love
beautiful.
how unhinged the photo, like the client always looks super stoked at holding the newspaper, and it looks like they're holding a newspaper that's like about a house fire. And she's like,
Yeah, I know.
with the,
They're very alarming. I intentionally didn't put any of those on the website.
but there literally
we
are
didn't cause this.
15. There literally are 15 firemen all around us
Yeah.
waiting.
Yes, it's
We
safe.
just
It's completely
I think
safe.
I think
If
just
anyone were to catch fire, they would get them out very
right.
quickly.
It's the
It would
heat
be me.
component.
It would be me because I'm like, the fire.
I had a sunburn on my neck.
Exactly. They're just not realizing how warm we're getting. But the funny thing is that that's a great way, because it's always the very last, since it's January 6th, it's the very last gig that we do, and there's a break in between.
I look forward to it.
We go up to Christmas, and then we don't usually typically. This year we had a wonderful private party, like on the 27th. Kelly, Dan, and I. That was like a little private engagement
It
announcement.
was so fun.
That was really fun. But that typically we don't. So that is the one that I really look forward to wrap up the year. We get to see each other again before we're going to be off for, till the next season or several months. And it's really beautiful.
That engagement story was really special. That was a client that called and said, I'm going to propose to my girlfriend.
I loved it.
December 23rd or something, right before Christmas.
Yeah.
And so we had a quartet go to his house, and it was a Christmas party, and she didn't know. And in the middle of the Christmas party, the carolers arrived as a surprise to all the guests, and they got it on video. He got down on one knee and proposed to her on video, and the carolers started singing something romantic. I don't remember what it was. It was such a beautiful moment. And he put it up on social media, and it just got tons and tons, hundreds, thousands of views, because it was such a special thing. And there's so many stories like that where people just move to tears by this music and the memories that it brings up. And I mean, we're moved to tears too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many of us have teared up in the middle of a song because it's so stirring, or emotionally reminiscent,
or because somebody else is crying?
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
we walk in the room and people cry when they see us. I mean,
Does anyone remember the time we were doing Silent Night? We always do the last verse in German, and out in the crowd was this older woman who you could see her welling up and the slow tears coming down her face. And afterwards she came up to us, and it turns out she's just like, I'm from Germany. And that just took me back to my childhood so much.
Love
and
that.
it was just that's one of the reasons that I love this gig so much. Because you never know the impact truly, and on something so simple as that, how that will affect somebody.
Absolutely.
No, Eric, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
I remember there was a big family that used to come to the steakhouse we sang in regularly, and it was like multi-generational. The young kids, the kids who were getting married and engaged, the parents, and then the grandparents. And they would always ask for "Oh Holy Night." And then one year, the grandmother is gone, and the mother is asking, "Oh, will you sing "Oh Holy Night"? That was Mom's favorite. She wept. I mean, like, none of us could look at them, because here, we're singing that song, and she just completely loves it. Yeah, stuff like that is really memorable. Touches your heart.
going table to table is always such a beautiful experience too, when people get to request a song and then hear it in 4-part harmony. I mean, quite often somebody's moved to tears by that. It's a really special thing that we do. And I remember one time Marley and a couple of other people sang for a woman on her deathbed. Can you imagine that? It was
Oh,
at a hospital, and I don't think we knew that that was going to happen. And so those carolers had to power through that situation. It was like a request at a gig. It's like,
Mhm.
and someone even took a picture of it. I mean, it was very powerful. So a lot of the stuff that we do is really meaningful to people. And I think that's a big reason why we all do it, like Eric said.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things, and I think I think you can relate to this, is that when we get to do retirement communities, and we get to particularly if we're doing a memory care, which is of course people that struggle
Yes.
with memory, and this has happened several times, and I've experienced it with all of you in the Chicagoland area, where we've gone and we've done it, and if it's memory care specifically, the people there will sing with us, and they won't. And I this has happened over and over again, where they're like, where we get told by their caretakers, their family, that they don't speak, they can't communicate, but that they can sing.
They will sing.
They will sing the Christmas Carol. Come there, and I mean, I'm getting teary just
Yep.
thinking of that right now, because it's. I think that the gift of music is just profoundly special, especially when you're bringing it to communities or people that need it, and really benefit from it on a very soul level. So yeah, that just always gets me, when it's like they're not speaking, or they're not communicating, or they're singing that Christmas song they loved. So
Yep.
that makes it all worth
So
it.
powerful.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have a story they definitely want to share? Because our time is winding down. But
I'll just tell a real quick one.
Okay.
Quick. This is during COVID. You were talking about table to table, and Jen and I are on a gig. This is during COVID, when there were to be 6 people, and it's a wonderful, wonderful client of yours, Rosie, in the northwest suburbs, that hires you every year, a restaurant, and everybody who dines at the restaurant loves the restaurant. All of us singers who sing at the restaurant love the restaurant and love the client.
Love
So
it.
it's COVID, and there were supposed to be 6 of us. And by the time Jen and I show up, it's 2, she and me. And so, we're
Yes.
thinking, what's it going to be like, singing table to table? We got 2
Because it's usually
altos
a
here.
duo is usually not two girl. Usually a duo is typically not 2 females.
Yeah.
It'll be a
Sing
tenor,
all 2
and
altos.
and not 2 altos.
Right, 2 altos.
But at the time, I was a soprano as well. I've shifted down several notches, but yes.
So we get to a table, and I think they must have asked for silver bells. And the lines in Silver Bells, it's the 2 women, city sidewalks, and then the men go, busy side. So Jen and I both do, city sidewalks, silence. And we realize right then and there, oh crap, okay, we have to start over. Well, we couldn't start over because we were laughing so hard. So we're like, okay, clean it up, girls, clean it up. And we went back, and she always fills it in. She knows all the parts. So I sang the female lines, she sang the male line. And they didn't care. They were so happy that there were 2 singers there,
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the most fun
It
gigs
was.
we ever did, because we were look at the source here. We were complete hams. I mean, with a capital H. We're dancing around each other at every table. We were just silly, but it was so fun.
It
was
was
just
fun.
so
And COVID, that was one of my favorite COVID gig time experiences. And also the first tree lighting that we did, where we were outside. So maybe this was 2021, holiday season 2020, or holiday season 2021. I can't remember, one of them. I think it was 2020, and it was when we were all like for the tree lighting on Michigan Avenue. And so we were there with a group, and Dan, I believe you were there. I believe you were there, and people were coming up because we're outside, so we can sing, and coming up, and a woman came up and was like, "I'm just so happy to be among people and hear you." And they were like sobbing just to be part of a community again and being able to see us. And that was a special time.
It was.
But that restaurant gig, which there are people here that will remember, that's the restaurant that treats us so well every year and gives us what we always say is our Christmas, because as carolers, I think all of us can relate. We don't often have our own Christmas moments during the season. And this is one of those places. This is one of those places that after we're done, they give us a Christmas by giving us a meal of whatever we want, and hanging out and being with us. So they're lovely.
So
I love
you guys
them.
You guys are being so heartwarming, and it's really making me sick. So I'm going to tell a really petty story.
Okay.
Love it.
There was at the unnamed steakhouse that we were all on so long, there was a waiter who could not help himself. Anytime we started singing "Oh Holy Night," this waiter, who used to be a caroler at some, not for us but for some other group, he would chime in and sing not the tenor part of "Oh Holy Night," but the soprano part in the tenor range. And he would bust in and start singing. And so one night, I believe it was Maddie, said, "We're going to change the key." And so we moved it up.
Oh, yes, you did.
Oh, wow.
And we started singing, and the look on his face was just like, he was so mad. He was so mad because he couldn't join us. He would not have been able to join us.
Oh, that's so funny.
Amazing.
Yeah. If you guys want to know why we sometimes take a holy night up, that's why. It was so annoying too, because we're singing all night. Like those gigs could be 3 hours or more. So we're saving our voices the whole night. He's serving tables, so he can go out and bust out a big, operatic tenor for one song, sure, and have the whole restaurant clap for him. And we're like, thanks.
Tip. Like it was a really lame move.
Yeah.
But totally funny. It was one of my favorite moments, just because it was so petty, and we were just like, yeah, take that.
Yeah, I think Sean wrote this to me the other day. Monty, expert level pettiness. I like it.
I just say, as
we love Christmas.
Being on the end of doing some of the booking for Chicago Carolers. I mean, I love going out and singing gigs, but then it also brings me so much joy to be, getting to message all my friends and say, "Hey, I have this cool gig for you." And it's such a great feeling, and just knowing where all of our people are, everywhere in the Chicagoland area, so many places, but one that I really appreciated as a fan myself, but also knowing there were fellow fans in the group. But we got a gig offer come in, and I just remember thinking, all right, Drew, I don't know what you're doing on this day, but cancel your plans, because you're going to go sing at the tree lighting at Gallagher Way outside Wrigley Field.
I know that both Bernadette and I had said if she hadn't called us for this gig, we'd have been so upset.
Yeah.
So upset.
Well, and even a step further, Bernadette was supposed to be on a different gig, and I was like, Bernadette needs to be here. And I think I ended up taking Bernadette's gig somewhere else that day, but it's just and then it's so exciting to get to offer, cool gigs to everybody too, and then to get, like Rosie said, to get the photos at the end of the night and just see where everybody was, and to just be part of that is, it's very uplifting. But it's so fun to connect with everybody, and like Sean said, we can't all be on gigs together all the time. I wish we could, but I do feel very connected to everybody throughout the season, and just hearing the stories and seeing the photos, and
Exactly.
It's so joyful for me. I mean, it's what the Christmas season is about.
Mhm.
I can't
Yeah.
imagine the Christmas season without Lola Bard.
Aw,
Me either.
I
I
feel
mean,
the
No.
same way.
it is our Christmas
Absolutely.
because
Yeah.
this is how we experience Christmas.
Mhm.
I get so delighted with equally the places we get to go. I mean, my own house, I say, Jeff, throw some lights on a bush. Or throw a light on a bush. But again, because I'm out in Christmas and it's nice and I get to see it, the beautiful places, the
Jen,
businesses
the
go
trees
well.
at
The
that one house.
trees,
Oh my gosh,
the
those
house in my
pictures.
town out here
Oh my
that you guys got,
gosh.
the house, the beautiful home that had 30 trees, and every room was a different theme from Grinch and Dr. Seuss to the white room that was all white, and then the vintage room.
Hmm.
We get a
Oh,
lot of Christmas. It's really beautiful. And then to get to sing with all of you and the music we get to make, that it just fills our soul so much. And then it's received, and we get to be around people who are happy to see us. It's like we get to experience people who want to see us, and it's a joy to
Mhm.
see us. So
Yeah.
it just works all around. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
mhm.
you guys
It's a
are all,
privilege.
yes. You guys are all very, very dear to my heart. I know that our company is growing because of you guys being boots on the ground, doing such an amazing job for all these clients. So many of our clients are repeat because you go do a fantastic job. So I can't thank you enough for everything you do season after season. And thank you for in the middle of what is this, June, for taking a couple hours to hang out. These are the kinds of things that really make us feel like a family, and it really means a lot to me. Um, I know some of you have to go, so please feel free to go. If you can stick around, I have a quick game that will be a bonus segment on the podcast if you can stick around. But I do know that you guys have to get back to work and everything. So if you need to go, feel free to sign off. And I thank you guys so much once again for doing this.
Thank you all so
Thank
much. We'll
you.
see you
Thank you.
soon.
We love you.
Bye.
We
Love
love
you
you.
Love
Love you.
you.
Love you.
Bye.
Hi, Jeannie.
Bye-bye.
I love Jeannie. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh, love her,
gosh.
love
I'm
her.
so glad she could hop on
Best.
for part of it.
I know, it's
Yes.
really cool. Okay, so for a little something off the cuff, we're going to play a quick game of Never Have I Ever.
Oh no.
Never.
I'm out of stuff to drink.
I know, we
I
don't
know,
have.
right?
Well, I mean, if you have I guess almost everybody had a Christmas mug, which is so adorable. But anyways, you
I'm gonna go
can
to
you can either drink or you can say I or whatever you want, or if you want to tell a story after the prompt, feel free. But any of these are handcrafted by yours truly.
Okay, well,
All right.
Can't wait.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Never have I ever caroled for a threesome.
I have to
wait,
drink.
What?
Do you
Wait,
remember?
do we drink if we have?
Yes, you
Yeah,
drink.
you drink if you
wait,
have.
you
If
drink
it's
if
not,
you have?
Yeah, you drink if you have.
But are we talking
There was a
threesome in the way
at-
that I'm thinking about it, or threesome?
No, like a thruple.
A thruple.
Nope.
Yeah.
Like a thruple.
Not a
Never
trio,
have I
a
ever.
thruple, like
A
sexual.
thruple. Like
At
two
the
ladies.
steakhouse.
I have so many questions, but I
I'm
don't
Me
know if I
too.
want to know the answer.
I'm going to text you after. We're going to find out.
No, we're gonna tell you right now. We'll tell you
It's
right now.
about any of you.
So
So
at the steakhouse in Chicago, there was a music festival that happens every year called Midwest, and all the people from the
Mm.
Midwest would come into the steakhouse for dinner afterwards.
All the band directors.
All the band
Oh,
extras.
Oh,
band
Midwest
directors.
Clinic. Midwest Clinic. Oh
yes,
my
Midwest
gosh.
Clinic playing Stump the Carolers.
Yep, they all thought, oh, we're gonna pick like the most obscure carol we can think of, like whatever Boar's
The
Head.
Boar's Head.
Yeah.
The Boar's Head Carol.
And so we, through
Christmas
the
wind.
years, just started adding everything to the book so that they couldn't stump us. And it was awesome. It was so much fun. Anyways, they're all just kind of band directory. And then there was always this one table that had one dude and two ladies. And they were not just colleagues. Both of the ladies were kissing on the man, and they were sitting very close to each other, and they had 1970s hairstyles. They were very into each other. And that dude looked like the happiest dude you've ever seen.
Oh my.
So you're saying that you have
about the
caroled for
throuple.
a throuple. That's what you were saying.
Yes.
Not have you ever caroled while in a throuple? That's what I heard. I'm like,
No.
No, but you don't know what was going on under that table.
Oh.
What happens at band camp? You
It's
know?
yes.
Wow.
Okay. Never have I ever completely forgotten the lyrics to a song mid-performance and just sung la 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 or made up words.
Oh, well,
Mm.
come on now.
I
I feel like that's everybody.
Yeah.
I think
Sometimes
that's
your mind goes
everybody, yes.
blank.
Oh God.
I always say you get notes or words. You don't get them both.
But you guys are off book,
Or
right?
sometimes,
A lot of the time.
sometimes you just decide that it's time
Yeah.
to sing Lou and then leave.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
To bring it up.
I'm
every
creating a
year.
new part to just hum while you take the lead.
Yeah.
No,
We don't require our
No, this is
memorize.
you know, we do the Charlie Brown Christmas album with Chris White Trio, which is fabulous, and it's growing and growing. And Rosie still does us the kindness of helping us book it. And one year, I mean, like it's often on my birthday, the last gig. The last gig is always at Wonderful Winters Jazz Club, and it's late in the season, and there's 3 sets. I mean, it's a long day. So we're in the last set, and we're singing the last song, which is Hark the Herald Angels Sing. And just like on the Christmas special, it starts out Lou, 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 with the kids, yes, Lou, 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 and then the words, and then that's it. Well, I guess I was tired or something, because I think I went out and like Chris plays, you know, big G chord or whatever, or F chord, whatever those songs are all in, and then looks at me, and then I start singing the words. So Sean and Christy are like, oh, okay, the words. And then I got off stage.
Christy and I are
And
both
the
sitting there
audience
going,
is like stunned, and the band is
we
stunned.
just
And
let,
I'm like
we
taking off
kind
my
of follow
shoes.
after her.
Body leads.
Hey,
You know what?
I'm like
She's
taking
the
off my
boss.
shoes, putting on my coat. I'm like, yeah, we're done. And they're like, Marty, the Lou.
You listen
We've
to the
all been
overwhelming
there.
Christmas angel.
Well, that's what I love about this group is that this group has so much of a yes and spirit and just like go with it, that if something weird happens like that, like we don't leave each other out to dry. We're like,
Oh,
yep,
never.
time
That
to
was
go
it.
off stage.
Never.
It's not time to go off stage, but we're gonna go off stage together.
Well, the best part of that too is like Maddie's so on top of it all the time, and
Yes.
she didn't even know what she did. And Sean and I were like, "So no lose?" What?
Maddie reminded me recently of a story where we were at the steakhouse, and hours into the gig, we were singing Rudolph. And at the end of Rudolph, I started singing thumpity thump thump thumpity thump thump. And everybody's kind of looking at me like, what are you doing? That's Frosty. But they all just started singing it with me, and we finished out Frosty.
You know what that's called? An
mashup.
arrangement.
Right.
An arrangement. Yeah, mashup. Yeah,
It's a mashup.
Here's a few more. Never have I ever been hit on by a client or a guest while dressed in full caroling attire.
We are.
The Grinch, actually.
No, somebody wants to do the Grinch.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's pretty foxy. I mean, look at him.
Look at him.
You are a highly attractive Grinch.
Why,
I
thank
will
you.
say that. You are, because you don't you do face makeup and you have the expressions and you do rather than the
Highly
I
attractive.
wish
Grinch.
Gene
That-
were
that
here.
Very
tracks.
attractive Grinch.
Highly attractive.
that that tracks to me. That
Yeah,
track.
I wish Gina were here. She does this country club gig towards the end of the season every year, and she's like, "Oh, this is the Handsy Place."
Yep.
I know what place she's talking about.
I've been there.
I wish Kelly was here, because
Oh.
I think Kelly was the one at the steakhouse that got like the
No, it
$100
wasn't Kelly,
tip.
it was a
And
Got
different singer.
$100
It was
tip.
It was a
Was
different
it? Was
singer,
it?
yes.
Oh, I
He's
thought
not
it was
with us
Kelly.
any longer.
Oh, the
But
one who's
I
no
thought it-
longer with us.
yes.
It's a- yeah.
In
Yeah, she
exchange
got a
for
$100 tip and then got kissed for it.
on the neck with saliva.
Oh,
What?
Oh,
What?
Yes.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. Woo,
No, thank you.
little monsters.
Well, you guys,
I
this
tells ya.
so much
I
fun.
tells ya.
I tells you, this has been a great time. Thank you so much for spending all your time, and I can't wait for the upcoming season. It's going to be bigger and better than ever. We're going to break records like we always do, and you guys are all really, really special to me. Thank you so much for making this company what it is and for being the heart of everything that we do. I love you all to pieces, and thank you again so much.
We love you, Rosie.
Love you, Rose. Thank you.
I love you all
so much.
Great to see you all.
Bye, everybody.
Happy summer.
Next Monday, party.
Bye.
I wanted to hear from the little German boy who visited us last season. You guys don't remember?
Are you guys still here? Okay, wait.
Wait, what little German boy?
What little German boy?
You don't remember? You are the German boy.
Oh, it's a German boy that sings his songs, yeah. Oh.
I have no memory of this. You guys, I'm old now. What's happening? I have no memory of this. What?
How did it come about? I don't remember how it
It's
came
from
about.
our downtown gig.
From our downtown
You don't
gig.
remember
What-
this being at ULC? And the little German boy is so excited to sing the Christmas carols.
The little German boy wants to
It's
listen to Christmas
sing
with
Christmas
now.
carols. Don't you know? He wants to sing the silent night, the stille Nacht. Come on.
Oh, the little
I
German
just
boy.
did not until you just said that. Oh my God, that's right. That's
I'm going to sing the Christmas carols now, yeah. Oh.
We're so excited.
Ah!
Yes, Rosie,
Oh
can
my
we
God.
sing the stille Nacht?